One is the loneliest number that you ever see. Two can be as lonely as one, but with one helping you.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good, bad. I'm the guy with the mic.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Well, here is Padded Cell, and I can't wait for someone else to join me in this show. I got people saying they're coming, and people say they've got everything. And it's almost like there is some kind of snow emergency that people are dealing with. I don't know. But tonight, I'm just going to talk about a couple of different things dealing with, well, this whole snowstorm. And that's one of the biggest things that right now everybody's talking about. Did you get the ice? Did you get the snow? Did you get this? And it's one of those things that, we have no way of stopping it. It's going to come. It's going to do whatever it's going to do. So, you know what? Here's a couple things I'm going to ask, What is your storm snack to go? I mean, everybody's got that little thing that they're like, I'm going to be stuck at home. I'm going to get cabin fever. What am I going to do? I'm going to go with the snacks. What's some storm games that you do? You get out the game system. Do you do this? Do you do that? There's also, what do you do? What do you watch? Hopefully your power doesn't go out. Your power goes out, you ain't watching nothing except for possibly the inside of your eyelids. And the other one was ice and snow. Oh gosh. I absolutely every single time rather have the snow versus the ice. Ice will do a lot of damage, and that's one of those things I don't want to do. Well, hi, how are you doing? It's always good to see that different people are popping in and talking to us, and stuff, spaghetti, homemade. Yeah, if you could do some baking cookies, that helps pass the time, especially when you got some kiddos at home. My goodness, I know that I went and took a little time, went outside, tried getting rid of some of the snow. That way, if I had to leave in a quick hurry, I absolutely was able to. Also had to make sure that all my pipes, the exhaust pipes, were able to get stuff thrown out. That way I could see what's all going on. There's so much stuff when you're talking about snowstorms, even thunderstorms, whatever kind of storm. If you're going to be stuck in the house, you can only stare at the same four walls before you start getting stir crazy. Some people are absolutely great with this, but as long as the internet stays in. Once the internet goes out, all hands are up in the air going, what to do now? Um, Years and years ago, internet was not a thing. So, you're like looking at it going, what did they do? Is it something that we can do now? Um, that's one of the main things. As you're going through, I want to hear what you guys all did. We're going to have this pod and padded cell once we get other people to join us. It was a late moment, and the reason it was late moment is just because I was going stir crazy. Got in doing stuff all night. Yeah. So let's see here. Played I Spy in the back. Yeah. Of a Captain Crunch box. You know what? I would have never thought of that. So maybe that's something I can think of with my kiddos in the future. Doing I Spy, maybe not in a crunch box, but if I could find a Where's Waldo, maybe I'll play I Spy on a Where's Waldo. That might seem like it would take forever when you say I spy the color red or white. But yeah, anything to keep people entertained, getting their brains going. I know a lot of people were trying to figure out, is my county going to go under a snow level? What level is it going to go? One's popped up really quickly, two start popping up, and now the state I'm in here in Ohio, we've got I would say almost 75% of our counties are starting to go into the reds from yellows. That's awesome. It's one of those things that, as long as you can entertain the kids, because if you're entertaining the kids, you're entertaining yourself. Just trying to figure out how you're going to entertain the kids. Because as soon as they're not entertained, it is going to be the worst situation. And you know what? If you got the snow gear, you want to throw the kids out, and as long as they're nice and warm and toasty, then yeah, let them play out in the snow. But they are going to get tired. They are going to get cold. So what are you going to do to keep them nice and warm inside? That's always one of those things. Today we were like, okay, we got plenty of food, got plenty of bread, whatever. Also, another thing I want to know from you guys, did you guys go out to the stores? And how early did you guys go out to the stores? And at what point did you start seeing the things just disappear? Wednesday, I made sure that we took the opportunity to go out and start getting stuff. But as soon as I got orders to come in to my house on Wednesday, Thursday, we went back out to see what's going on. Friday, we went out to have the traditional Last Supper. It's the Last Supper before everything starts to go a little chaotic. We chose Friday because we didn't know what Saturday was going to bring. Let's see here. When you're doing all that stuff, it's just really more of a situation that you watch people. Watch the people. Many people made French toast. Yeah. I don't know how much French toast you can actually have before you're just like, man, I bought way too many supplies and all I can make is this French toast. I need to get something else. So when you're doing the French toast, did you have to buy the cinnamon, or did you already have enough cinnamon for this situation? Is another thing I've been asking people when they go and say, well, I got the bread, I got the milk, I got the butter, and then I got the eggs. Well, that's French toast. But the question is, did you get the cinnamon? Is there a special type of cinnamon you guys get? Really early to depend here. Yeah. So that's another thing that's very important. This storm was affecting a lot of people in different ways, in different situations, in different places. And, you know, a lot of people are just like, am I good? Am I not good? Should I have more supplies? Is it going to be? A lot of people were considering, you know, maybe I can't get to work. And a lot of places around here are actually saying that, hey, I'm hoping this is Friday, just underneath something else. That would make a lot of sense to me. But Friday can't be on here. Her internet's kind of not right. So she said that she would, you know, jump in here and watch the show, comment. And the end result, yes, it is Friday. Today is a Sunday, but that is a Friday that's making all the comments. I had a sneaking suspicion because, boy, our comments were absolutely just jumping around. Especially when it was a comment that says hi as soon as we started, and then followed by zombies bringing the coffee brings all the zombies to the yard. I had a pretty good idea that it was going to be Friday. But when we're doing a padded cell, we want to talk about different stuff with mental health. And that's one of the key factors to this show is just taking care of yourself. Have we all checked on people today? Have we all looked at different situations, looked at them and said, oh, you know, how you doing? Have you compared your weather? Because that's always a key factor day or two. If you're comparing all your weather and this and that. Here in Ohio, we've been listening to the snow trucks, and the snow trucks reported about an hour ago that the conditions are getting worse now than they have been all day. That is a bad situation. So is it a situation that is any opportunity that it can be fixed anytime soon, or is it a situation that they're just going to have to deal with this all night long? And I want everybody to take opportunity and just say, hey, thank you to all these wonderful snowplow guys, because they're trying. They have been trying. They have been out 6 hours before it even started to make sure that all the equipment is ready. There was different situations. Columbus had a snowplow that was on fire today. Columbus, Ohio. That was kind of like, well, that wasn't very good because, you know, that stuff happens, unfortunately. Yeah, so I know I'm surviving the wonderful snow apocalypse that we've been dealt with. They were actually comparing the blizzard in some of the aspects on the blizzard to what we're seeing here. Some places are not going to see what the blizzard had in store, but some places they are seeing the differences, and it's just really interesting. Today we might actually get more snow than the blizzard dropped, but we don't get the wind, and we don't get the amount per hour, so it doesn't qualify for a blizzard. So many levels. If you don't understand the leveling system, yeah, I mean it. If you don't understand the leveling system, level 1 is just, hey, you gotta go out, show caution, you know. Level 2 is, hey, now we're going to be really honest with you. It's getting really bad out there. If you ain't got no reason to go out, just stay at home. And level 3 is, you should not be out in this, and we see you might get a citation. One of the snowplow guys actually made a comment. There's a vehicle and he's stuck. They want to unstuck him, but do they think that they should jump him? Because if they jump him, he shouldn't have been out here to begin with. So the question was, what's right, what's wrong? There was opportunity that he could have just got pulled off the interstate, no problem, and just rolled around and got him home. But some of these people, they just don't understand, and they're like, "Oh, I gotta do this." And I can understand farmers. I can understand watching your livestock. I can understand doing that. I can understand the first responders, snowplows, get into hospitals, this and that. But if you have no reason, then there's no reason to be out. Snowplows were sliding off the roads today because of whatever reason. But I mean, you got the snow. Everything's starting to put down salt. What are we really going to do here? And the thing was, some places they didn't put salt down today, and it's okay. I know that they didn't put down salt, and the reason they didn't put down the salt is because there was so much snow still coming. It was just advised just to stay off the roads. Go ahead and get rid of the snow, and then once the snow starts going and we can control the snow, then let's go ahead and start putting some salt down to melt the ice. That was a very, very good thought out. And a lot of places are having problems with how much salt do they have left. Here we are towards the end of January, and they just don't know what's still to come. If you look at our weather here in Ohio, we're going to get some very frigid temperatures coming in, and they don't look good. And in fact, I had it pulled up a little bit ago. So let's see here. See if I can pull up this again, because it was bad. It was bad. Yeah, ice. Ice is always a major concern. The temperature is always going to be a major concern too, but ice, yeah. Okay, so Day International Airport. I'm pulling this right off of Facebook. I got two computers I always run to. So Day International Airport has reported at 7 o'clock today. It was 2.4 inches for today. Storm total was 14 inches. Old record for a single day was 12.2, set in 1978. This day, 1978. No, tomorrow's day. So I mean that's pretty interesting. 0.2 of an inch difference, but it breaks a record. That's from Day International Airport. That's in Ohio. Man, I wish I could find that whole thing. Maybe I can pull it up on weather.com. But we are absolutely just watching this entire thing with my household is watching this entire thing. I don't know who all else is watching it, but it is very important to really understand, to really know your weather. 10-day outlook for my area. But so let's go into temperature. And by the way, I had somebody talk about this, and they said, why do we even have wind chill factor figured in? If it's the wind chill factor should be the lowest, and it's not always the lowest. Wind chill factor is a important thing, but sometimes you don't get wind chill factor because the wind's not blowing. Let's see here. This is all what's coming from the National Weather Service for my area here in Ohio. On the low tomorrow, -4. Tuesday, low is -5. Wednesday, low is -2. Thursday, low is -5. Friday is -1. Okay, that is 5 days of negative numbers. All right, Saturday goes up to 3. Sunday goes up to 8. Can this change? Absolutely, it can change. And this is what I have been doing to keep my mind going. If I'm not out snowblowing, I have been doing this absolutely over and over again. So that's why I'm trying to figure out what have you guys done. And if you guys have done something I haven't done, well, maybe then I need to grab it. Because it's very important for me to get ideas. I know some of our people said they had stuff going on and they would be in as soon as they can. Unfortunately, they're still not here. I wish they were. That way we could have a fun podcast. I know some of our people, they get off at 8 o'clock, so they won't be in here until 9. So, but yeah. So, is there anything that you guys have watched? Is there something that you have really, really been like, oh, so this is what I've been watching? Have you binge watched anything? Because honestly, if it wasn't for my subscription to Crunchyroll, I don't know what I've been doing. Because that seems like the number one thing that we've been doing all day is just watching different episodes, different things, different this and that. We only watched one thing on Netflix today. So it's just, man. Sorry, I've been getting messages left and right, just making sure everybody's okay. But yeah, so what are we looking at? We've been watching different anime shows. Crunchyroll, thank goodness for Crunchyroll. Netflix, thank goodness for Netflix. I don't think we have watched our Disney Plus at all today. Just saying. What? Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, I don't know if I can watch that show right now. I mean, there's a really cool character in that, though. But, yeah. Different shows, different networks. I'm surprised that the daughter has not asked for Five Nights at Freddy's. So, yeah, that's what we've been working on. Hopefully you guys are all staying nice and warm. If you guys are on propane, are you guys checking your propane? I know that the feed trucks go out for companies almost every single day. So just trying to get feed into different places in snow conditions might be a real bad situation, but it is very important. Let's see. Different games. Oh, man. Daughter has been playing Minecraft, and I've been hearing the dogs bark on Minecraft over and over and over. And at some point, I thought it was my dog. But I come to realize, no, it's not our dog. Yesterday, daughter was able to get her Pinewood Derby car worked on, so she hand sanded it a little bit today. Awesome. That's what you got. Sometimes when you watch a show, you love it so much, but you gotta bring the kids to the understanding of the beginning. we got a refill of propane to be ready. Let's go. So let me just say this. One of the things I want to say is if you have propane or you have natural gas and it gets shut off or you run out, here is a big problem. You have to go ahead and have somebody come out and inspect it before they refill it. And here's why. The pressure in your pipes are constant pressure. So if you don't have any pressure, it goes ahead and the pipes have a possibility of actually going in kind of not sealing right, shrinking, whatever. Um if the seal is not right anymore, it becomes a major problem because now you're going to have a leak, this and that. So when you go and you have somebody come over to redo this, you have to have somebody retest it to make sure that there ain't leaks. No one wants a leak. So yeah, that's very important. Make sure you don't run out of any of your crucial fuels. By the way, make sure you keep a decent amount of fuel in your car. I don't know if anybody knows this. A lot of people probably do, but the fuel in your car is what keeps your fuel pump cool. So if you run it on fumes all the time, it will eventually break down your fuel pump a lot faster. Hey, look, I got somebody. I'm going to stick them in here. Hello.
Hey.
Oh my goodness, I got somebody to come and visit me. That's a plus. Yeah. So how are you been handling this wonderful weather?
It's cold.
Well, we just went over what the temperature for this week's going to be. And I'm sure you've already seen them. So, oh my gosh.
Yes,
Can't
it's
tell
going to
what
be
that sound
freezing.
is. What is that sound?
What sound?
It sounds like you're eating a Rice Krispie treat.
Yep, not here.
Well, the Rice Krispie treat sounds gone. So, but yeah, we were talking about the temperature, and so what did you do? Did you stay at home all day today?
Yeah, we're under a level 3. I can't leave.
Well, um, so what did you? The questions I'm going to ask everybody is, what is your snack or your storm snack to go to?
I really don't think that I have a go-to storm snack because I can't even remember the last time we've had this much snow. So, but I put dinner in the crock pot and just forgot about it all day.
Okay. You guys didn't have any snacks that you're like, ooh, I can't wait to dig into these today.
No, I let my boys go a little overboard at the store and pick whatever they wanted out, so I kind of didn't care. We ended up with ice cream, cookies, cake, just things that we normally don't buy.
Right.
But they had fun, and then we went outside, um, took the dogs and the kids outside, and so that was a lot of fun. Um, my one dog, he's so short that it goes up to his shoulders.
Awesome. So I have some comments here that I got to read. I can't pull them up for some darn reason. I don't know why. It will not let me click on anything. So I don't know if my mouse is absolutely like, I am frozen and you don't need to know anything. But I cannot click on any of my things. So we're going to have very interesting. Question that was posed. That sound Was it you walking in the snow?
No.
So I still don't know what that crunching sound was, but it's gone. It's out here. We don't care no more. Did you watch any shows today?
I am watching Man with the Plan.
Okay. I have no idea what that is.
I didn't either and came across it on Amazon Prime. It has Joey from Friends in it.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Okay. Do you has anybody in your house been playing video games, and what video games have they been playing during the snow?
My oldest just went upstairs to play Fortnite, and my youngest, Wyatt, what's the name of that coloring app that you do? Oh, Simply Draw.
Okay. That's something I don't know, never heard about it. Um, and that's awesome because like I said, I need to know for my kiddos' sake, different things too.
Yeah, it's an app. It teaches them to draw different things. It's pretty neat.
Well, that's awesome. I think I've officially broke my mousy mouse. So now I gotta go and make another mousy mouse happen. Let's see here. Ha ha! Look, I can put comments up again. Hello there. How are you? So I don't know if you have a preference, but which one do you prefer, ice or snow?
Snow.
Okay. I mean, that's one of the things, it's a lot of people are going with snow just because this whole snow situation. Snow you can push off to the side. Ice is very damaging very quickly. Um, yep. Person goes with snow also here, and that's one of the things. I rather have I rather have footage of snow versus ice. I can do stuff with the snow. Once the snow starts melting, it's great, but it starts creating ice. But I'd rather not have ice right off the bat. It's my personal opinion very bad.
Did you see what Tennessee got?
No.
They apparently got a couple inches of snow and then it downpoured and they had tornado warnings and then it snowed again. They had snow then ice because all that froze from the rain and then had snow on top of it.
That's gonna be a mess for them.
Mm-hmm.
I know Lexington, Kentucky is dealing with power outages.
Oh no.
Little here, little there, everywhere, little bit. Um, so I was told we were supposed to get our snow to officially end at 7:15, 7:30, which was going to give a lot of people an opportunity to get themselves back up and running. So hopefully that's exactly what's happened. I don't know. I have not been out since 6:45.
Yeah, I think the last time I was outside was like 7:30 and it was still snowing.
Right. Everybody's playing the game, trying to figure out what's all going on. It's let's see here. Give me one
Yeah, it's
second.
not coming down. It's not coming down like rain anymore. They're big flakes now.
Right. Once again, it's one of those situations. Uh, ah, I love it. I love it when things don't work for me, right? Everybody loves that, right? Everybody feels that when things
Right.
don't work right.
I feel it.
Oh yeah. Best not to. Yeah. Wait, so there's just so many things when you go and you're talking about being stuck at home, man. That's one of the key factors here. When you're stuck at home, what do you do? What do you not do? What can you handle? Leveling down the house is not a fun thing to do.
Well, we definitely went outside and played in it a little bit, so that was fun. But the funnest part is going to be digging out my car since 'cause we live in a little village, and the little plow trucks that they use, they're definitely using it to their advantage to make sure that we do not get out.
Oh yeah. Give me 1 second here. Let me go. Let me look at something. Sorry about that. Um. So one of the things I'm going to say here is I live in a small village too, and they're trying their hardest to do this opening road, and they're trying it, uh, trying to get these roads open. But one of the problems that I know that people are having is just the pure amount of snow that was coming through and hitting us, and the snowplows. They had to work on all of the streets that they possibly can, get the main ones, go through all the side ones, this and that. And now, pretty much the only ones that they do not have open is the alleyways. And we know that uh, they're going to have to get a backhoe, and they'll get the backhoe in. And when they get the backhoe to go through, um, it's usually pretty easy. But one of the biggest things is my alley is like that. So you come off the top and you do this, or you go up. If you go up, if you don't pay attention, you will actually take that bucket and you will jam it into our gravel, which makes these wonderful, great divots. And it feels like a cheese grater. So they're trying to figure out, how they can get everything to operate as well as they can. No. So based on where you are, okay? Based on where you are, your state will have villages or they'll have towns. Here in Ohio, we have village, and then you get so many people and you call it a city. So some places they go and have towns, and then they go ahead and have cities. But yep, it just depends. There was a whole thing that we had on the podcast for a long time that whenever somebody would say something about a village, I would go ahead and pop up a picture of a group of villagers with fire on sticks and this and that, and he actually had podcast earphones. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Just depending on where you are, it could be a village or it could be a city. Apparently, you're not a town. You're a city. Yeah, I mean, our county capital, it's a city. It's the only city in our county. Other places, they have cities, and then they have another city, and then they have a county seat. Our county seat is the only city. So yeah, just looked it up though. Yeah, it's wonderful. You never know what you're going to get into and what you're going to find. But when it comes down to that stuff, absolutely. I could say, do your research and you'll figure it out, but that's not even the case. I mean, it's 100%. You never know what you're going to get into. I love it. I love it. I love it. And when you think you know something, something will be brought up. That way you can look at it, and then you'll realize, well, yeah. But yeah, all of our trucks say the village of, the village of, the village of. You go over to the next one over, it says the village of, the village of, the village of. You go down the road, it says the city. And it's like, that's just because you have more people than me. Congratulations. And that's fine. I am very excited when I think they have a whole ceremony when a village here becomes a city. I mean, most of the time, don't people just go ahead and do whatever they can? Yeah. It's population. So if you got old Mother Hubbard that lives in a shoe, or the old, sweet old lady that lives in a shoe, I guess that is not Mother Hubbard. If you're the sweet old lady that lives in a shoe, and you have so many children, you don't know what to do. When you do the population count and you count all the kiddos, you might pop it up.
We only have 1,740 residents in our little town, our little
Nice.
village.
It wasn't even here in 1935. Nice. Wait, hold on. I wasn't even alive in 1935 when they did it. No, there you go. You know what? I wasn't alive in a lot of time. Based on it's 2026, and I was born 1986. Woohoo! There's a lot of things that's happened, and I will never have an understanding of why it happened the way it did because I wasn't even thought of. My great grandfather probably didn't even think that there was going to be a world existing.
Yeah, I just looked it up online, and it says our village became a village in 1845.
Okay, now you're gonna make me do research.
I had to look it up. I was interested.
Okay. Let's do this. It's called Google. Google has the answers. All right. Google does not give me too many stats. Why are you not giving me stats? I don't know. It gives me the village office, which the police department used to be in the village office.
Yeah, ours too. Until the village police department got in trouble for trafficking money.
That is never a good thing.
Well, they shut them down. So
our village was on everybody's newspaper for the longest time because, and get this, because we thought about having a casino. One of the first casinos in Ohio was going to be right here. And they're like, oh, well, you can't do that. What do you mean you can't do that? So the a group of people I won't tell you what group of people or how, said that they were going to sue the village of Bakans for having the idea of having a casino. No, it don't work that way. So it was thrown out. People said instead of doing this, we should have better idea of how to handle stuff and this and that. That always blows my mind when I do that. Man, they don't give stats. Why are you not giving me stats? I want stats. That is such an old picture. The aerial picture that they have, and I'm looking at right now, is such an old picture. And I want them to understand how old of a picture this is. That whole thing is not relevant anymore. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I mean, the picture is just not relevant. Apparently we grew from a guy that owned the town site. 1958. 1958 is, or no, my bad. 1858 is when we decided that it was going to be a great opportunity for us to do it. So two more years. No, not 2 more years. Man, my math is off tonight. Gee, criminy. All right, I don't need to know anymore about where I live. I could just tell you that picture they have on the site is so unrelevant anymore. And I want people to understand how unrelevant that picture is. The landscape has so much changed. Whoever took all these photos, that's pretty awesome photos. Because it shows probably about 10 years ago. Yeah, probably about 10 years ago these photos on the site has been. But anyway, so do you got to work tomorrow? Oh, I think I lost her. Or she's muted and she doesn't know she's muted. Or her internet's went off. Or I could give 10,000 reasons. But yeah, it is one of those things. Oh, she's back now.
That was weird.
Yeah, no kidding. I wanted to know what happened.
Yeah. Well, I just saw that it says 47 years ago today, Ohio was digging out from the blizzard of 78.
Yeah, it's the anniversary of it.
Wild.
And that's what everybody was talking about. As this weather was coming in, were we looking at a blizzard of that magnitude, or was it this and that? And the thing is, we don't have the wind. All the snow that is sitting, just think of if we get the wind that could accompany this,
Right.
And that's one of the very important things.
Thank goodness that it did not come with wind.
Thank goodness it didn't. If it would have came with wind, we would have had so much more boosted up problems and this and that. Sometimes the wind is a key factor to more disaster.
Correct. It
But yeah,
makes those drifts so much bigger.
hanging out with the small ones. No school. School was canceled for tomorrow. I know both of my little ones. Both schools are canceled. So, the one is like yes, and the other one's like no. So you can tell the age difference. That's such a true thing. It was always said elementary is that opportunity time for teachers to really inspire minds because at that age every child still wanted to learn, still wanted to be there. Once you get older, it's just like I have so much more I could be doing versus sitting here and doing what you tell me to do.
Correct.
Uh, I know tomorrow I will be getting up. I will be going to work. And when I go to work, I will see how everything is. And we'll see how fast I can get the machinery to do what the machinery needs to do. I First thing I gotta do is take the machinery from the back, pick it up, and go to the front.
It's gonna be a cold one.
Right? Yep. It's gonna be a cold one, but as soon as I fire up the piece of the machinery and it gets warmed up, I'll go ahead and lock in the bucket and we will start getting the snow moved. But the thing is, man, this is going to be a lot more snow to move than what we've had in the past. I mean,
Correct.
I haven't seen this much snow. I've seen the blowing, which takes snow from small areas and piles it up. But I have not seen snow like this, where it's like, oh, well, this is a pretty nice amount. So I'm
Yeah, I
hoping
haven't
everything.
seen this much at one time. I mean, there's been a couple times where we've had a couple good snows and,
Right,
inches pile up, but not at one time.
right, and one of the re- one of the times I remember the snow, I was in middle school, and the snow canceled school for a whole week extra after Christmas. I mean, it was just like, man, we knew we were going extra days into the spring. Then the governor at the time got out a state of emergency and flat out told us we are not sending these kids into spring, summer that much because everybody's been down. I remember being told stay inside. I remember being told so many different things in hopes that people would be like, okay, we want we want to get out just to get out. And nope. As soon as you would dig yourself out, you would get that wind and it would blow you straight back and you would like, okay, well, I guess we ain't leaving now.
Yeah, I thought it was
And,
kind of crazy that our governor did the same thing before we even had snow on the ground.
um our governor here on Friday had a press conference and it was like a almost 2.5 hour press conference just advising people what they've been seeing, how this should be handled, how people just need to go and grab a good book. And his wife absolutely was going up to him and going, yeah, talk about good books. She is absolutely about reading and literacy, and I think that's great. She just over and over talks about books, and in fact, if you've been to rest areas in our state now, the rest areas have a storybook trail that has been put in at these rest areas that you take a break and you can go and read these books while going down this trail. It's something. The new rest areas in our state are showing giant murals all around on the inside of different stuff. If you are going north, it will show you different stuff going north than if you stop at the one going south.
Interesting.
Yeah, they want to make sure that you go and you know what is coming up. Hey, this is in Piqua. This is in Sydney. This is in New Bremen. If you get off at that exit, you go that way. There's something in New Bremen, Jackson Center, Wapak. There's just so many different things that they're trying at these rest areas. And the reason is because they are having problems with people just traveling through the state. And they want to encourage people to keep traveling, but while you're traveling, take a break and look at these different things. It's all about strategy. It's a really good thing. Unfortunately, strategy does not work with the semi drivers that have to go and stay on the routes. But it's really good because the one rest area off of 33 that goes towards Columbus talks about the concrete corn that is around Columbus.
In Dublin, yep.
So you're all looking at this different stuff, and you're like, man, I travel, I'm seeing this, and wow, maybe I should stop here. I got a little extra time. Let me go ahead and stop here. And it's fantastic that these things are being done. There's QR codes. That way it brings up our state here in Ohio. They have absolutely done so many different things. There's actually an app I do not have on my phone, and why I'm thinking about it, I'm going to play on there. It's called Ogo. And I didn't know what Ogo was, had no idea. It's OHGO. What Ogo is it's a thing that they put together that gives you different items. It's everything. It's ran by the Ohio government, and everybody's like, well, they still got to do some new stuff. I mean, the rating on it's not the best, but it's still a fairly new app. It actually shows you traffic cameras for like I-75, 33, you name it, they got a traffic camera somewhere on 70. So, all these things are being put into access, and I think it's wonderful. But when you're traveling and you think, oh, well, I can make it, you should really, really do your research on some of the stuff. I mean, right now, if you look up our map for the state of Ohio, there's a lot more red than there is yellow. And it's just level 3s all over the state. It is.
Yeah, I think last time I checked, it said, because there's only 88 counties in Ohio, and it said
Right.
30, I think 37 were in level 3s, and the rest of them was level 2s or under.
Right.
So
I know that there is about 4. When I got on here, I was watching it, and there was 4 more that went and did the transaction or transition. For a little comedy thing today, I thought it was fun. I went ahead and I put it that due to the snow, Chainers Field of Screams was going to be closed. I thought it was funny. Somebody said, "Were you?" So over near Richmond, Indiana, somebody just said we measured 14 inches of snow at our house. So people are seeing 14 inches of snow. I mean, man, we all had a whole bunch of slide off after slide off after slide off in Columbus.
Yeah, we had 11 inches where I live. And
My little
that's not including what more came down after I measured.
right. I will tell you that the weather has just been so bad that um, I can't do a proper measurement on my property because it's just it's yeah, where I thought I was going to get a good measurement, it's coming up one number, it's coming up to another number. I'm away from the house, I'm coming up to a different number, and it's like, okay, I've got so many things. Hey, look, we got another person.
Hi,
Hi, Eric.
how are you?
Doing wonderful. I've got more people outside the Outlight Network than inside the Outlight Network on a Outlight Network show.
Hey, that's good. It's good publicity.
Yeah, I just I sent a message out to everybody, and people were busy or had things going on, and we totally understand. And Padded Cell is one of those podcasts that you talk about everything, anything, and since everybody was talking about all the same stuff today, we just figured, we would make this one that's basically how in the heck do you deal with the cabin fever situation that everybody's been going through.
I went outside today, so I don't really relate.
What did you do outside?
I went on an hour and a half walk to take photos.
That's something awesome.
Yeah. I had 4 pairs of pants on and my shirt and 3 jackets.
I don't know what chopped liver is. No, you're not chopped liver. I'm just saying, we understand, but here inside the show is what we're talking about. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you cut. I would say come into the show, but I know why they're not coming into the show, and so we understand. But no, one of the biggest things we were talking about is, what do you do when the storms are coming? What do you do to, get through the situation of, hey, I'm pretty much stuck in a area. So we were talking about storm stacks. And everybody that gets stuck in a house has to have a good amount of snacks. And if you don't, what are the snacks you wish you had? You know what I mean?
I was actually going to ask you how your snack situation is.
Okay, so I found some Cheez-Its, and they're smoked Cheez-Its. Smoked cheddar. I know, I found those, and I'm like, I'm savoring the taste, so I'm a little bit here, a little bit there.
You're right.
I also found Funyuns, but in a tube can. They're little Funyuns, and I'm like,
oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, a few here, a few there, and I'm like, I'm going to make myself so much fatter.
I totally get that.
And I was like, what else? What else? I was like, Dollar General, why are you here? Because all my
They just
snacks
pop up
are here.
everywhere.
Yeah, and it's great having a Dollar General, but when you're trying to No, I don't need that snack. But it's right there. You want that snack. So there was pretzels bought. There was 2 jars of cheese, like nacho cheese, but that was bought. There was chips that were bought, like the tortilla chips that was bought. Um, those were used with on tacos last night.
Ooh, there you
Oh
go.
yeah, yeah. Funyuns are also a wonderful opportunity for you to use the jars of cheese, because if you eat Funyuns, liquid cheese is your friend with Funyuns too.
Really? I've never had
Yes.
Funyuns with liquid cheese.
I was gonna
Do, do
say,
you
interesting.
do you want to have a fat day? I'm just saying, fat days are
I'm
opportunity.
down.
So we did those. The daughter got a can of these itty bitty Doritos, and I mean they are like, you know how you used to fold up pieces of paper to make a little football.
Yeah,
They're about smaller than those.
really? That's weird.
Yeah, but that's to go cans. They're making these little micro snack cans that you grab them, and they have a pop top like a Pringle, and you're eating them, and it's just like you look at the bottom of the can and come to realize that you might have ate too many. But yeah, I mean the smoked cheddar Cheez-Its I've never had before.
I never heard of
Um,
those before.
Yeah,
oh,
neither have I.
Eric, I know where you live. I'm going to drop off a box. Get you hooked on Cheez-Its instead of hooked on phonics.
That
I
could be
just
your new motto there.
They would probably sell a lot more.
I'm telling you, man. Now some
Tell
people are like, I don't like that smoky taste. And it's like, back off. I don't want your negativity near my Cheez-Its.
I mean, when they do it right, it hits the spot.
tell Cheez-Its that you need to be their spokesperson.
Yeah,
No,
dude,
because I'll be
give me a new
fatter.
job.
No. I'll be like, hey guys, go eat these Cheez-Its. They're really good. Can I have a box here? No? Okay. I gotta talk about 5 more words. Now I get a box of Cheez-Its. There we go. Okay. I don't want to be that guy. I mean, I'm a big guy, but I don't need to be a big guy even more for like my snacks. I have a doctor that tells me, when she first met me, she told me, she goes, "Hey, I want you to understand, you eating like this could kill you." And I said, "Yep." And she looked at me and goes, "You're not concerned." I said, "Okay, me being relevant, and I want you to understand relevancy is key point in the way I treat myself." And I said, "I want you to understand this. If you tell me that hamburger is going to possibly kill me, I'm going to search that hamburger for a 45, and then I'm going to tell you it's going to be just like anything else. I'm at higher risk of getting killed on the road than that burger." Now, a whole bunch of those burgers together after some time could do me some damage.
Right.
But that burger right there is not going to hurt me and fuck up my world. It's not. So I went to the doctor last year, and my regular nurse was lying there. And you know how you go see a doctor and the nurse is in there. She does all the stuff for the prep doctor. This nurse has never met me. And now, because of this nurse, there is a disclaimer in my paperwork. Good job for you. It states, no kidding, it states, very vague answers for very vague questions. She asked me if I have fallen recently. And I told her, Yes. Have you felt dizzy recently? Yes. Okay. Have you been in shortness of breath? Yes. Have you done this? Yes. Have you done that? Yes. Have you thought about dying recently? Yes. Wow. She walked out and she looked at the doctor and said, "Hey, I think we really need to handle this very delicately." And she goes, my doctor goes, "Who's in that room?" And she goes, "Well, here's his file." She looks at it and she goes, "Oh, we really need to set up a warning system." I and she comes back in and she goes, "Can you explain to me the answers to your questions?" I said, "Yes." She goes, "All right. When did you fall?" I said, "When I tripped over that goddamn toy." And she goes, "When did you feel dizzy?" I said, "When I hit my head." And she goes, "Okay." So she's like, "This isn't just randomly." I said, "No. Why do you think about death?" I said, "I had a buddy die, and I want you to know that I thought of my own death." I said, "Is it not in there that I also suffer from depression? Because when you're depressed, you think of death, but you do not always act upon it." It's okay. Let's go ahead and say it together in a big group. It's okay to be depressed. It is not okay to be destructive. It is easy like that. It's okay to be depressed, but not okay to be destructive. Uh, so when I explained this whole thing, she looked at me and she like, "Okay, doctor will be in to see you." Okay. And that doctor looked at me and goes, "She does not care for you." I said, "She tried. She tried."
I'm
So,
just sitting here laughing because my surgeon, he has had to do the same thing. And there's been a couple, he had to write in my file that I have a dark sense of humor
oh yeah.
because, oh, okay, so I have a really high pain tolerance. If this doesn't tell you anything, I've had 5 surgeries with him on my arms, and 4 of the 5 surgeries, I was wide awake in the OR without pain medication, talking to him, laughing, goofing, whatever. Well, it was so funny when I went into the office one time and I knew surgery was coming. And I walk in and there's a new nurse. And of course, she didn't open my file first because they don't open it until you come in the room. So she did not read it, did not read the warning. And she's like, "Oh, well, we're here to discuss possible surgery." I was like, "Yeah, he said that we were just going to cut it off this time." And she just kind of stopped. And like I had a straight face and everything, and he came in and like knocked on the door and came in while she's like asking me other questions. And he goes, "All right, well, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do." I was like, "Okay, I was like, it's about time we cut it off now, right?" And he goes, "Yeah," and gives me a high five, and they walk out of the room. And I could hear her outside the door. She's like, "Is everything okay with her? Should we call a social worker?" And I'm like, "What?" I was so confused. I was like, "Why? Because I want you to cut my arm off?"
That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, they have to give other workers warnings just because
Oh,
yeah.
my regular nurse comes in. She goes and smiles really big, and I said, "So you were on vacation 3 months ago?" And she goes, "Yeah." I said, "Was it worth it?" And she goes, "It was great, but nothing was better than reading what you did." I said, "Oh yeah? When? What did I do?" And she goes, "You freaked out a nurse so bad that she wanted to order a psych test for you." I was like, "Same answers I gave you when you started." And she goes, "And I want a psych test for you," until the doctor said you might want to reword it. And the doctor has had the whole thing. She looked at me and she goes, "I don't think you quite understand." I understand, but I don't think you quite understand either. Quality of life over relevancy. And she goes, "What?" I said, "Quality of life over relevancy. Quality of life is what I want. relevancy of what you want is not to be played with. I don't even tolerate it. So you telling me that the hamburger's going to kill me, I want to see the damn knife. And damn, if I did not tell that story to a friend and he put a fucking plastic knife in my damn sandwich one day, I was like biting into this. I was like, Wendy's Baconator. I was like, thanks for picking this up. And he's just staring at me in his fries going, yep, no problem. And I bit into it. I was like, what the? And he's like, that sandwich tried killing you. It's like, oh my God.
That's great.
So my friends all have this sense of humor too. And by the way, dark humor is absolutely acceptable in some conditions, some places,
In a
and
lot
with
of
the right
conditions.
people.
I was gonna say a lot of us in the haunt industry, we have definitely a dark sense of humor.
Name a field that is considered a necessary field that does not have dark humor. Can't think of one because the police
Handyman work.
department. What's that?
Handyman work.
Police department have dark humor. Fire department, ambulance, dispatchers have dark humor. All those have dark humor. Medical
Doctors
field.
and nurses, yep.
Oh my gosh!
Well, yeah, because they all deal with death every day or close to it.
Nothing like getting a colonoscopy and waking up early because the anesthesiast is like, okay, we're done. We're going ahead and start waking him up. I woke up before everything was out, and I looked at the camera and the TV. I said, is that inside of me? And I said, oh, yep, I feel that. You got to have a good sense of humor. And the doctor looked at me and said, well, you're all good. You're all clear. I'll see you for your next appointment. Okay.
That's hysterical.
When I got a note from that doctor, hey, it's time to do a nurse checkup. I'm like, I don't wanna. It's not the process. I don't like taking off of work. And tomorrow I will be going to work.
What?
I will absolutely fire up a 321 front loader, and I will be moving snow on our facility's property. We don't call snow people to do our stuff. We've got the heavy equipment to do it ourselves. But no, I can't say enough about the medical field. They absolutely do a wonderful job. I can't say enough about a lot of people. They do a wonderful job.
Have you seen that Rainn Wilson, the new Rainn Wilson movie? He plays a first responder, and like he rode with a bunch of I forget what they're called, the people who drive the ambulances.
Are we talking about Code 3?
Maybe that might be it.
I got to figure out who Wade Wilson is.
Rainn Wilson.
Rainn.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tell
he
the person.
Played Dwight Schrute in The Office.
Okay. So yes, that's Code 3.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite parts is, well, what's her numbers? You mean their numbers? Yeah. Like her numbers. You're asking me what her numbers are. Pulse 0, breath 0, oxygen 0, blood pressure 0. Go ahead. Raise her arm up. Go ahead, do it. And the guy's like, no. Oh, what's wrong? You don't want to do this? He goes, you know what that sound is? That's rigor mortis. That takes hours. And you're saying just dead? Oh, no. Oh, yeah. I like that movie. It's a realization to what they have to do. And me being a person that deals with first responders, he made a comment. You're right. Absolutely right. They can be They could be dead on scene and they go to the coroner, or they can be dead in the hospital. They do not die in the ambulance. That is not something that happens. They don't die in the ambulance. And it is a legal nightmare. It is. Why this person die in your care? That person was going to die. And they did everything they could. And you're still going to punish them to hell. So what they do is they say, okay, here's the BP, here's this and that. And then they roll them in there. And then the doctor looks at them and goes, they're dead. Well, you called it dead, buddy. Paramedics cannot call a time of death.
That's crazy.
It is a terrible nightmare.
You going up here? Well, okay, I'm good. Thank you. on Pilo's podcast.
Well, hi. I don't know. I don't see you. Hey, this is your wife, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you guys. I got to meet you guys when you're in the final moments of engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got married, and Maverick's here since we seen you last. So that's
right.
Crazy. Yeah, we gotta do more stuff together, dude.
I love.
Thank you.
But yeah, I do want to do more stuff with you. I absolutely thought it was great doing the stuff with you. So keep me in mind. You're right down the road from me. I have no excuse not to be able to put you on my schedule for me to come visit you guys, and see your wonderful bundle of joy. Because that's all great. Love when kids are born, because you just look at them and go, welcome. Now let's see how you're going to be able to handle this. As a parent,
he's so small. He's so cute.
I'm telling you, as a parent, one of our jobs is to ensure that we do everything we can to best get the kid to survive. I know how horrible that sounds, but the kid cannot survive without us. They need that adult stuff. So, yeah. Yes, that's a very important thing. I'm going to put my personal opinion in things. Please take the opportunity to teach your kid the best ways of survival. Then teach your kid the best ways of having fun while surviving.
Yeah, 100%.
If you can teach your kid how to survive, they're going to learn something that cannot be taught in school, and it is called common sense. Encourage them to be tough, because if they're not going to be tough, they're going to not make mistakes. And you want them to make mistakes to learn. Thomas Edison, anybody that knows me on any of my podcasts will know me. I love Thomas Edison and the words of him. And he always said, when the interviewer looked at him and said, how do you feel about failing at making a light bulb over 1,000 times? Thomas Edison looked at that person doing the interview and said, I did not fail at making a light bulb over 1,000 times. I succeeded at making over 1,000 ways that you don't have a working light bulb. I made one working light bulb. That's all you need to know. Then later on, he told somebody, you never fail when you do not hit your goal. Failure comes when you stop trying. So you can absolutely have a setback after setback after setback, but you will never fail if you continue to try, because you're going to succeed or you're going to give up and fail. If you give up and fail, then you're like, okay. And one of the best inventions that you, sir, on your arm should appreciate by Thomas Edison. If you look at your arm, Thomas Edison invented something that failed for him, but someone else took and they succeeded with it. Do you know why it was?
Tattoo gun?
It was the tattoo gun. Thomas Edison did not invent a tattoo gun. He invented a multi-paper embossing gun. Okay, it was a pen that would absolutely go through a piece of paper about 3 sheets to 4 sheets and be able to keep on doing that. That way you could go ahead and use those to put on your print machines. That way you could make more newspapers out faster.
Oh, that's awesome.
It did not sit in the person's hand right. He sold 5 of them, and then his patent ran out because no one cared for it. Okay. So a guy that was Irish got off of a ship, walked in to a shop seeing this thing, and said, that is the most different design, but he's seen the possibilities because of what it did, of what it could do. So he took the weight, put the weight a little differently, and was able to put it into your hand a lot better. And this was where he went ahead and was able to put different needles in there to better suit what he wanted. So there you go. A little education there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I am full of nothing but random what the hell and why. But yeah, it's Thomas Edison. He encouraged so many peoples. He had so many patents. But we know Dayton, Ohio, right? At some point, Dayton, Ohio had more patents on inventions than anywhere else in the United States.
That's crazy.
Yep. A guy I know has had the patent for the longest time, and he showed me all the patent papers. You know what his invention is? It's an invention that I guarantee both of you have used. Probably recently, too. Want to take a stab in the dark?
No.
Ready? It's that.
Oh, really?
Yep. That design. And look at pop cans. Your pop cans all pretty much use the same design pop tab. It was absolutely invented by a wonderful gentleman I know, and he's shown me the patents, and he had, how you doing? He had nothing but patents after patents after patents made for different styles, and finally he found one that everybody wanted, and he had to travel all around the world to set up the machines so they could make his patent type of pop tab.
That's cool.
Nice.
So yeah, he's older than dirt. I will admit that. He's a wonderful guy, but he just old. So yeah. So just so you guys know, this show is one of those shows that you guys want to talk about anything, you guys have full rights to talk about anything. You don't have to talk about the snow the entire time. And just also, this style of the show was a precursor in a mixture off of the difference between your show and this show made Squirrel nuts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I loved your concept. I just was like 15 minutes. I don't know what I could do in 15 minutes. But yeah.
Speaking of that show, that's the new background for it.
Which one?
All this for the Quickies 15-minute show.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That took like hours to do.
So,
Well, I'm gonna get off here because my little one is begging for my attention.
oh, that's fine. That's fine. Thanks for
All right.
jumping in.
Bye. Nice meeting you.
And as soon as she leaves, boom, you get slided right over. No,
You got
your
quiet.
show. I know she had some background stuff, but it's what it is. I will tell you, when you talked
Where did
about
your
that
audio
show,
go, dude?
my audio, there, is that bad? Better? Can you hear me now? Hold on. There. Better?
It's probably me. Let me try to leave and come back.
Okay. Oh no. You got. Let's see here. So I don't know. Everybody else have audio? Can't hear? I can. Better.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
That was weird.
I was like, I wonder what. Yeah, but
She got off and like all the sound just completely disappeared. I was like, that's weird.
yeah. I asked. I was like, I don't know. Can anybody hear me? This person can hear me. But yeah, your show. After you talked about it, I was like, man, I like that concept. So we talked about it, and one of the co-owners of our network was just on an episode this week, and I thought it was funny because she's never been on it. So she was mid-sentence when the timer went off. Bloop. She didn't know that we don't finish that conversation. It goes instantly to end of show. And she just was like, what happened? What happened was that's the way that show goes. Goes,
See, I like that concept though, that it just automatically stops at 30 minutes.
yeah. I mean, I think somebody gave her 10 more seconds just to get her where she. But yeah, it was a really good concept, and we love doing that show. It's a really short show versus some of the shows that we do, and we really like doing it because a lot of people have the attention span of a goldfish.
Yeah.
No, nothing against any viewer on here, but I'm telling you, who has been on this show watching it for the hour and 33 minutes? I bet a couple people have come in, people have went to do stuff, come back. So, it's not negative. It's just a reality. We have a very busy life. I mean, anybody that watches the show, it is really hard to watch it. And sometimes it's hard to put it on pause to come back to it. So
Yeah.
when you gave that concept, I loved it. And we were like, well, you know what? We're going to take something. And that's why I want you to be on that one show, just so you can see how it operates.
I appreciate it. And it was a lot of fun to be on there too. But yeah, that was kind of like my thinking of quickies was like, yeah, a lot of people like the longer podcasting, but a lot of people don't have time to sit there and enjoy the podcast.
Right.
So if you throw a 15-minute one on, then,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I know. I know. I have previous messages from you. But yeah, that's all one of those things that, we understand. But padded cell never has a time limit. We don't have anything. It could be 15 minutes. It could be struggling to get 1 hour. It could be, I know this show, we have done a 4-hour show just because we were talking about something, and then someone else jumped in. We talked that. Someone else jumped in, talked about it. And this is one of those. It's a show about venting. It's a show about talking about mental health, getting stuff out of your mind. That way you can talk about it and everybody's like, oh, okay. Because no one wants a cluttered mind. So this is kind of like a mind dump. And that's why this episode we were talking about the snow, the weather, this and that, because everybody's been talking about that. That's been on everybody's mind. You got to do something that, I think is awesome. You took a walk around town. You did this, you did that to take photos of the situation. By the way, if you ever wanted to share those, I know where you could share those. And if you ever wanted to get them published, I kind of know where you could get them published too. And just, putting that one in your head. So
I don't know if they're that good to be published, but like we'll get there.
You'd be surprised.
I got lucky actually. I went down to the river and there was 2 swans mixed with all the geese. So
I seen a TikTok today. I started laughing so hard. This TikTok just absolutely made me laugh. What the TikTok was this girl, she was running down this road and there was the US border and the Canadian border. And she goes, are those American white-tailed deer illegally crossing into Canada? And I was like, that's funny.
that's hilarious.
So what did I do? Are those Canada geese crossing over and pooping all over and trying to bite me? The deer do not try to kill you as much as the geese. The geese are a little more braver. Deer, they'll run before they charge after you. Unless it's rut season. All game is off for that one.
Yeah, geese are pretty much the worst.
Those are feathered duck cobras.
Yeah.
That's exactly, somebody told me they're feathered duck cobras. It's
My
not
old
geese.
job had a little pond outside of it, and there was geese there all the time. And like they would make you late for work because they would start walking across the road, and like you had to stop and wait for them.
I knew somebody that actually had a cattle pusher on the front of his pickup truck that he would hit the winch, and the winch would go wee, and he would hit the duck or the goose. And the goose would be like, ah. And it's like, well, you're not running them over, you're just hitting them. And they don't move.
No, they don't. They don't care at all.
They rather take suicide to a new level. And the thing is, if the one partner doesn't see the other one died and can confirm that's their death, they will search their entire life for that other one.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So, as long as it's like, oh, my husband's dead, I just seen him. Yeah, okay. Who wants some of this? Otherwise, it's like, anybody seen Frank? Frank's dead. No, he ain't dead. He's hiding. He's been hiding for 7 years. Well, yeah, that seems kind of odd. But yeah.
That's awesome, though. I didn't know that.
Another, you know what? At some point, I feel like I need to have a show that's Pyle's Useless Facts. I bet you didn't know this. Well, at least you didn't know all of this.
I feel like you'd run out at some point, though.
You know what? I thought I would too, but you know what? I keep on learning things.
Which is good.
Well, my job, I deal with crystal fertilizer. So I'm going to say this. Do you know what potash is?
No.
Okay, potash is a type of fertilizer, and it's a very well used fertilizer that they spread across fields. Okay. Now, potash can be clear, it can be red, or it can be white. It depends on where it was mined at, and it depends on what was added into the potash, why the potash was being developed. So, the redder the tint, the higher the iron concentrate. The clearer, the less iron. So, we've got stuff that's a higher percentage, but it is white. So, yeah, there's your fertilizer facts. I'm not as good as Phil. Sorry, Phil. I just can't do you. We do have at my company a podcast that is Phil. That it's fertilizer facts for the weeks.
That's awesome.
And he just talks about where he thinks the market's going to go, and he gives you information about the different fertilizers, like why are the farmers craving sulfur? Do you have any idea why farmers would be needing sulfur in their fields? Now,
Oh, that's weird.
well, think about this. Now, this is scary letters. EPA. Okay? Also, by Homer Simpson's dad, EPA. I got somebody that says I need a link to that. I'll get you the link for it. But EPA has done such a great job of having smog, bad pollutants go in the atmosphere. They have done such a great job of cracking down on all this different things. You can't burn things. You can't do this and that. It'll put toxics into the air. Well, yes, but here's a problem. For crops to grow right, they need different things. And one of the things that they needed was sulfur. You can get sulfur mix, you can get this and that and put sulfur in the ground. There's a lot of different ways to get sulfur in the ground. One of the main ways it used to be was the clouds would have sulfur in the air. They would condense, and when they condensed, it would come down as rain, snow, sleet, whatever, and cover the ground. When it melted or rain went straight into the ground, the sulfur would give that nutrient into the ground. Now, we don't have steam locomotives. Steam locomotives were good about burning coal, and coal would throw a lot of sulfur in the air. Power plants throw a whole bunch of sulfur in the air. Almost everybody was using coal, right? The sulfur now is not in the air like it was here. So when it goes and it comes down, it is a lot cleaner. You know sulfuric acid? They used to talk about the sulfuric acid in rain. Now, they're not talking about it as much. If you go around to houses, you can actually see things starting to grow on roofs that back 10 years ago wasn't growing on the roofs. The reason it's growing is because the sulfuric acid is not attacking it to get it to come off.
See, I'm finding out so much right now.
But yeah, that is very important for our crops. Our crops need sulfur. So they're getting sulfur blend and they're putting it in with their liquids. That way, when a fertilizer tank will go across the ground and actually spray it on the ground, it's actually spraying the sulfur mix on the ground. That way it can go in the ground. So yeah, you can even get sulfur pellets. And when you get sulfur pellets, you throw that on the ground. The snow right now is awesome because that snow is giving it such a blanket. So when it starts breaking everything down and the snow melts, the snow is going to go straight down unless we get like a massive heat wave mixed with rain. Then it's going to wash that stuff away. But it's slowly taking it, breaking it down, putting it in the ground. And this spring, They can till it up and rotate everything to get that best result. And that's why they till the ground. That's why they swap out the crops. That's why they do this. That's why they do that. There is so much in agriculture.
Do you know about how many views his podcast gets?
Uh,
Just
uh
roughly.
well, his podcast actually gets emailed out. And it's actually through the company.
Oh, okay.
So he
But
works.
still, like, there's a lot of people who are like, I don't know what to have a podcast about. And, like, if he could have a podcast about what's going on and not all that kind of stuff, like, you can podcast about anything, you know?
Yep. I actually gave a entire talk to a class. And the entire talk to the class was just talking about podcasting
Really?
and the relevance about what to talk about in a podcast. And I told them, I said, here's a piece of paper, write down your favorite thing. What's the thing that inspires you? What's the thing that grabs you and just shakes you and says, I am here? That is what your podcast is about. And the kid said, what about Transformers? Do you know what kind of history is in the show Transformers, to the comics, to the toys? Why were these toys continued? Why were these toys not? What was the spin-offs? Because
All
you
the
had
war too,
Transformers, then you had the movies, and you had Beast Wars, which was a spin-off of Transformers, and now you have the Transformers Beast modes and this and that. There's so much you could talk about. And the kid was like, wow. And another kid goes, what about a fire truck? What started the fire truck? Where was the first type of fire truck? What was the relevance of doing this? Okay, let's talk about this. Let's do the research. That's the main thing. You got to do the research to pull this in, to bring it relevant. Podcasting is a wonderful opportunity, and
it really is.
There's a couple different types of podcasts. You can do a voice podcast, or you can do a video podcast. Video podcast gives the relevance of me showing you a picture and you understanding what this picture is. And video, you can talk about whatever you're seeing, but if you don't describe it correctly, they're going to come up with a picture of a little dinosaur when clearly we were talking about the Megasaur.
Right.
It's how you present yourself, and that is one of the most important things about this. Communication is the main thing. You got to figure out how to communicate from one person to another. And as I am communicating with you, is this a relevancy that someone else might want to sit here and watch this? And that is very important with the communication. I can take a walkie-talkie, talk to you, no problem. I can talk to you over a cell phone, no problem. I can have a conversation over Facebook, no problem. We can have a conversation over Facebook, as in like through posting. That's no problem. That is where people start to see the conversations between people. This gives the opportunity that my conversation and your conversation can be seen and understood in the most relevant way. And it doesn't take too much to understand the conversation, because it's not a whole bunch of understanding of the reading part. Reading comprehension is one of the main problems here in our country. And I will tell you now, you know it. I've told you, I have a reading comprehension problem. I have found ways around it. I've found ways around it enough that I am a published author. I have 2 stories that are published in books that you can go out and buy right now. I have another one that is going in a book, and I'm writing another one that's going to go in a book. So comprehension for me is a different way than you. I will never read my book. I don't like it. I have a machine read it. That machine is able to go ahead and pronunciate and do this and that. That way I understand it. Now, this being said, the most irritating thing I have ever done to my wife, most irritating thing, I was sick. I didn't feel good. She wanted to be nice and she wanted to read me a book. She had the book. I said, sure. Okay. It was The Adventures of Frog and Toad. We know Frog and Toad, right? At no point did she say Toad. It was Todd the entire time. Frog and Todd, the entire book. And I just was dying laughing because I'm the one that's having this much problem comprehension. And I knew that that was a Toad, not Todd.
That's great.
I love her. And every time we see that book, it's like, hey, you want to pick that book up? No. You want to read this to our daughter? No. She will read any book. She will read the books about the Brothers Grimm, the fairy tale Brothers Grimm.
Very good
She'll
books.
read those. She'll read whatever. Not Frog and Toad. Nope. That is gone. That ship has sailed. We will never speak about it ever again. I love her. And I will tell you, I am a terrible storyteller.
No, you're a great storyteller.
So
there's no lie there.
well, I wrote a small story right after Halloween called Pumpkin Paul. And when I wrote this, it was because I wanted to create a little bit of a legend for something my daughter could enjoy. And none of her friends would have it. It's all about her. So when I create this, I went ahead and made everything together. And I told her the story. I wrote the story. And I sent it. When I sent it to Friday, she said, can I publish this? It's going to be in a newsletter. Sure. Well, now that's turning into Pumpkin Paul is going to be in a book with other stories. And the reason that I think that's incredible is because this is a story that my daughter remembered the next year. And she said, oh, Dad, we got to put the candy out. Kids already went trick-or-treating, but it's Halloween and we got to stick the candy out for Pumpkin Paul. That way Pumpkin Paul takes the candy. I said, yep. And she goes, if we carve a jack-o'-lantern, do you think Pumpkin Paul will take it? I said, maybe. If your jack-o'-lantern's what he wants, maybe he'll take it and wear it around. And she just absolutely fed off of that story so well that I loved it. I've got little pictures here, little pictures there on pieces of paper of a story of Pumpkin Paul's return and why Pumpkin Paul is returning for being able to be seen. Because no one sees Pumpkin Paul. Pumpkin Paul just does his thing. Now he's returning, but he's having people see Pumpkin Paul. So there's a reason that he's not in the shadows. There's a reason that he's doing something. I mean, Pumpkin Paul's there every single year. So why is he coming out of the shadows and letting people see him once again? And that's what the second book is going to be, the second story. That way, she has an opportunity that she can be like, oh, well, I want to work with you on this. And I want her to work with me on why is Pumpkin Paul doing this. This way,
That's awesome.
She has an opportunity to say, I'm in a book and you ain't. It's not like that as much as she'll be able to say, yeah, I got this. And it took me so much time for me to make it relevant, for me to say, yeah, I'm a published author. Now, one of my teachers that I've had was so supportive of me. He wants copies of my books. And I've got 2 copies that are sitting waiting for him.
That's awesome.
And I can sign books, I can do this and that, but some people know the real name and some people know Pile Hazard, and I write Pile Hazard in everything. But if they can really get me really have a relevancy to me actually writing my real name, I can actually write my real name, but it's not the pen name. Mark Twain was not his real name. Mark Twain was a pen name. And he absolutely did everything he did under Mark Twain. In fact, he actually had a couple different pen names because he was producing so many books that the author's like, whoa, 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 slow down a little bit. So, one of the people that was reading all the books went up to Mark Twain and told him, can I get your signature on this? And he looked at it and said, yeah, no problem. Opens it up, looks at it, and goes, I just wrote my name in this book. And he goes, well, I know it's your book. And here comes, yep, Friday. There you go. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so that is a lot of relevancy on a lot of different things. Some people just love making so many books. Oh, no, I stand corrected. Okay. So Mark Twain was the pen name. Okay. But there is another book writer that wrote so many books, and his publisher told him to knock it off. And it's not, but he is a very well known book writer. And it's who made Pennywise?
Stephen King.
Stephen King. Stephen King actually had to have a second name because he wasn't done making books.
Okay, but he
It's,
puts out he writes like the thickest books possible.
I know, and he still wanted to make more books, and his publisher said, "Back off."
But it's like, how?
So he found some way else to do it, and when he did that, and that's the thing, I have a book that I know this wonderful person knows it. That almost no one has read it, touched it, or anything. And it's not complete. And it's called Grimm. It's going to be called the Book of Grimm, or it's just going to be Grimm. And it's absolutely a book about the Grim Reaper on how it's designed. It's never been in my eyes properly done. So I have everything I need, and it's taking me a long time, but I want it to be relevant. Plus, I get all these other book assignments that's, hey, you want to do this? Yeah, sure. Like this one that we're working on. I know. Before she puts it up there, I know it. I gotta get it done. We're ticking down the clock. It needs to be done in the beginning of February. It's almost completed. I don't need that much more. I just need a few more people to put in it to make it a lot more relevant. Or I can go back and give it a lot more detail, which makes it curious of how it's being done. Yep, there she goes. Yep. 1,700 more words. Which for me it's not a big deal at all. It just, yeah. So what have you been working on? Enough about me. What have you been working on?
Just bringing back quickies and finding more guests for the Jellyfish Manifesto. Funny enough, I'm writing like 12 different books. I'll never finish them though, but um, yeah, and I'm starting a band.
Oh, so let me tell you, you had me on the show. Okay.
Yeah.
You had one of my friends on the show not too late after I was on there, and she assumed that it was me that said something to you about her because she just wrote a book, and her book is actually really awesome. I have a copy here. It needs to get sent. I just got to figure out what happened to the copy because the copy of the book is currently somewhere.
Oh, is it
But
Diane?
it's Diane. It was so funny because she's just like, oh, well, my show went on, but Piles went and got released after or before mine. So I imagine it was Pile, and I'm like, nope, didn't even think about that at all. I don't. For Jellyfish, I don't know what you guys were really looking for. All I knew the assignment was, hey, I'm looking for someone to talk about Halloween.
Yeah.
Well, I might know a thing, and I got tagged in that a lot. Like, so many people were sharing that post with me. I'm like, okay. And I deliberately posted the way I did. Why would this guy want to talk to a person like me? And I gave you a whole bunch of random stuff.
Yeah.
And I said, but, he's not going to want to talk to me. I just did that just to give you a teaser, and absolutely was a fun teaser to give. I love
it was
Halloween.
awesome. Like, I read that and I was like, dude, we got to have this guy on the podcast. Like,
Yeah. By the way, I forgot. Do you know about the Ohio Haunters Association? Me and you talked about it.
yeah.
Okay. Now, do you know about the Ohio Haunters Convention?
Yeah, at the Mansfield.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We at the Outlight Network with our show, Chainers Haunt Secrets, is going to be the one that does the ball.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yes. So it's going to be Chainers Haunt Secrets ball. Which that's that I told them, I said, if I had my way, it would be called the Monster Bash because honestly, it's a costume ball. We need the Monster Bash because I got so off-centered listening to them talking about balls so much. And all I could think of is, he's got big balls and she's got big balls, but we've got the biggest balls of them all is the only thing I can think of. And I was like, I can't take you people seriously enough. So we are officially in talks with them, officially getting a lot of stuff going on with them. We just had a wonderful meeting with the one that is in charge of the vendors. So, yes, it's going to be typed up. We're waiting on the contract to get to us. They're taking their time to work the contract properly. And then our Light Network will sit down, look at it, and we'll go ahead and get everything. But we're excited. We're excited.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, we want this for the Haunters. And hopefully some of the Haunters will want to talk to us about different stuff and be on one of the shows. But yeah, other than that,
that's awesome.
I hope that your guys is how many shows do you guys got?
We're currently producing 3, but we have another 2 that we're working on top of that.
Okay. By the way, we do need to get your wonderful co-host on one of our shows.
Dylan, yeah.
I absolutely. And you know what? He was really wonderful to talk to. After I understood what I understand, I was just like, okay. And I really thought he had an accent, but you know what? I'm glad that he's okay to be openly able to talk about that, because no one is made perfect. And man, I hate when people's like, oh, you have a perfect life. No, I don't. No, I don't. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, I feel like when you put yourself in the position of you're putting yourself online and everyone's going to see it, you got to kind of be okay with yourself all the way around. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. You should always try putting your best foot forwards.
Yeah.
Now, if your best foot is forwards already and something happens, you got to be able to twist your foot, turn your foot, get yourself comfortable because they are going to go after you. You know how many people I have randomly just pulling up stuff. And by the way, loved it. Went to the gathering of the Juggalos this year, and I was talking to, and I didn't know this, 5 different podcasters that came to talk to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, some of them had microphones, some of them had this and that, and I didn't care. I just talked to them, and the one guy absolutely looked at me and was like, "Hey, I'm blah blah blah," and I said, "Oh, cool," and he goes, "Yeah, do you want to look up my information?" And I looked at him and said, "Sure. Do you want to look up mine?" And he looked at me and goes, "What?" I said, "Oh, it's very nice to have a podcaster talk to a podcaster." What? Yeah. I said, "What does a podcaster look like?" He goes, why aren't you doing like a whole thing? I said, "Cause I'm on vacation."
Right.
My time, not your time. My time. But had a great interview with a guy, and he said it was so hot, and when he was so hot and sweaty, he said he didn't feel right downstairs. And I told him, I said, okay. So I got some anti-monkey butt cream or monkey butt powder.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, okay, squeeze that down in your britches. You'll feel better. And he did. He shook it around. I said, great. Now your nuts are powdery like your face. And he just looked at me and just was like, oh my gosh. And I actually looked at the video and he left that in.
That's funny.
So yeah, had a great time with him. Wonderful person. Learned very little, but it's nice to meet these guys.
Yeah.
They're doing the same dang thing, but he just thought it was funny because he's like, "So you're a podcaster?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay, what's your show?" And at that point, I was so hot, so tired, and lack of sugar that I couldn't even tell you how to spell my podcast. I was like,
I'd like to say that's one of the reasons why we started the Jellyfish Manifesto is because meeting other creatives and talking to them about everything that they enjoy is just one of the nicest experiences you can have.
right. Absolutely. That is one of the key factors. Remember how I talked to you and I told you everything is about communication?
Yeah.
Okay. Communication has so many different fields in it. Okay. One of the things I've learned is I had every opportunity to be on the radio. And then you didn't get to see this wonderful face. And it was fine because our radio station, WMR, or wow, I almost crossed in 3 of them. It's 1055 WMVR. They have had me on the station multiple times, but they always had a DJ, and they're a little station, so the pay was not where I could be.
Great.
But
Totally
I
understand.
will always tell you that I learned a lot doing free time with them because I learned more about communication. In some of the old equipment that they had that showed you where the station started to doing digital upgrades was amazing when they were reamping everything, and I got to see the test tubes and this and that. That was great because the bulbs and everything, the vacuum tubes and everything you needed to run that stuff at that time, it looked like Frankenstein's laboratory.
Oh, that's
At
awesome.
some point there was a kill switch that's like, and we're live. So I've had all this opportunity. There's so many DJs I'm still friends with. down in Troy and Piqua area. Joe Labor, he used to be at Hits 105.5. Me and him still talk. iHeartRadio, me and them guys from T102, we talk. And it's just a great opportunity being able to see and understand their field in our field. Ours, we know we're not going to make the biggest paychecks until we can compete with Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
But we are still doing this for the love and the passion. And I rather do that than get paid the money that some of those people get paid.
100%.
Yeah, because even if I would become a millionaire, I could not stop doing what I'm doing because it's just not me. So this is everything that I do is me. Everything I love doing is me. I love doing padded cell. I love doing 30 squirrel nuts. I love doing Chainer's Haunt Secrets. There's a show on here that I am a co-host, and it's Corpse Gardens. I love doing those shows. The Clutch, I'm not very good with because I just sometimes I can interview people and sometimes I can't. I really need to know that person and have that link for me interviewing. So if I don't know that person, I don't know the link and this and that. I got brought on one episode because they were talking about cryptids. And the guy looked at me and goes, and I know you being a cryptid person, you're probably going to go after me. No. Why would I go after you on your envision of a cryptid character? I have never seen them. And it is all everything that we want to see about them. So if your vision is different than mine, I mean, what's a unicorn look like? I've never seen a unicorn. You ever seen a unicorn, Eric?
No.
So if you've never seen a unicorn in real life, how can you guarantee that the hair color is white? How can you guarantee that it's pink? How can you guarantee this and that? Maybe the skin is the color and it's got like polar bear and it's clear hair. Because polar bears are actually, the skin is white and the fur is clear.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's the random things I have found out in my life. But
I
yeah,
never really get that at all.
well, everybody's like, oh, well, it's a polar bear. It's white. Well,
Yeah.
The skin is white. The hair is clear. You see the actual skin. It's not the fur that you actually can really do it with. Yeah, I found that one out going to a zoo because they actually had a polar bear exhibit and they were talking about it and they're like, yeah, the skin's white.
That's cool.
Okay.
I never would have guessed that.
Yeah, it's kind of like this. You see a dog that the dog fur has all these bright colors, like dark colors on it, this and that. And then you see a dog that's red. What you're seeing is more of the skin color of it being red. Then yeah.
Huh. Yeah, he's finding out a lot of things tonight, pal.
I don't know if that's a good thing for you or a bad thing.
Hopefully it's good.
Give me 1 second here.
You're good.
Because I was told this so long ago. Science might have been like, science might have been like, oh well, we need to prove you guys wrong.
You're right. Updated information.
Yeah. How many times does that happen? Pluto.
God, don't get me started about Pluto.
Fun fact. So, the whiter the polar bear is usually because it rolls around in snow. But yes, it's the fur that is. If you look at a polar bear and you ask what color it is, you'll probably say it's white. Obviously, however, natural living up to uh, it's a trick. Yeah. Wait, I don't want to click on the link. Just give me the answer, dang it. What? Uh yeah, it's you're seeing actually the skin and everything that is being seen. The hair is kind of like colorless. It's colorless.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine if humans had colorless hair?
He's not bald. He's just got that clear hair. What is that? That freaky thing. It's a naked mole rat.
You're pretty much,
But
yeah.
human form. Oh my gosh. It'd be like, does the carpets meet the drapes? Yeah, they're clear too. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I always tell people, do me a favor. Go out and investigate your world. Find random facts. You can Google random facts and they will pop up random facts. And it is so hilarious because you'll be like, wait, what? Because you didn't know that. And your pappy didn't tell you anything different. But yeah, there it is. I just Googled it. I didn't have to click. I just had to scroll down. It wanted me to click for something else. So, yeah, that site had a scam in it somewhere. But yeah, it's actually colorless.
So, how many episodes of the jellyfish have you watched?
I have probably got into. Well, here's a better question. How many times have I seen a jellyfish posted, and then I've clicked on it? Because I have so many things pop up.
Yeah.
But you dumped a couple episodes, and when you dumped them, I got a hold of them. But to go and actually click on your guys' link and go to your guys' YouTube and actually watch them, I probably haven't done too many.
Because
to be right honest.
Oh, and we also told you this before we started recording your episode, but we start every episode with a fact, so kind of the same idea there.
Right.
And then now we're doing mini episodes with Sierra, and she's starting those off with jokes. So.
Now, are they dark humor jokes?
So far, they haven't been. They've just been like dad jokes, but.
So somebody told me, man, is that a dad joke? I said, yeah. He goes, dark humor. I was like, huh? He goes, my dad died. Oh, I got you. That's sorry. Not yeah. Oh, it's okay. I didn't know him. Oh yeah? Yeah. You didn't know your dad, so it's okay? And he goes, yeah. I said, like, did he die when you were born or something? And that just opened up so many more of a dark conversation. I felt bad. I really did.
My
But
favorite dark humor jokes right now are the 9/11 jokes.
fire fire departments have very dark humor. One asked me for some jerky. I said we're out, and the other guy said, "Hey, if you want some fresh jerky, there's some still on the couch." I was like, "Whoa!" But that's how they handle the situations.
I
So
mean, you kind of got to it because, like, it's proven that it's like mentally helpful sometimes.
we'll go with whatever answer helps you sleep. I'll tell you. I can't say too many bad things. I've actually had a really great life, and I've loved the life I've lived. Um, there's just so much. I mean, it's so much that makes me go, "Hey, this is pretty interesting." And by the way, I was told as soon as I get this one thing, it's going to take me a few minutes, but as soon as I get one thing, I would be in. I was told by that, and I was also told by someone I get off at 8 o'clock, so I'd be in there at 9. So I want to thank you for staying and having conversations with me, because usually we do a 2-hour show with this, and uh, we're past the 2 hours, which is great because now you get to hear random things, and people also get to know more about you, and honestly, it's good mental health. But uh, I'm glad that you guys are doing other shows, and I'm glad that things are working in the positive and stuff for you. It's always a wonderful, wonderful thing to hear that people are going and hey, this is working for me.
Yeah. And another awesome thing about it is like when we started booking people, like especially like you, like it wasn't like a big like 3 months before you were on, like you were on like pretty soon after we are like, hey, and started having that conversation. Now we're booked out into July.
Well, that's awesome. I need some more haunters for my shows. It's kind of hard to get haunters to talk about haunting outside the season. It
Really?
really is, because they'll be like, "Oh yeah," but if you talk to a haunter about haunting, and they're seasonal haunters, then it's like, "Yeah, yeah." But usually, I will fill up my books for convention time. As soon as I get into convention time, they're like, "Oh yeah, the conventions, this and that," and that's one of the great things. But yeah, some haunters, they just don't want to commit, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, I should do that show," and it's like, okay, that's fine. So as of right now, I need haunters. I really do. Um, I have had some, and let me also say, I need haunters from different types of haunts, different haunts. I can go down to one haunt and interview every single person. But boy, is that going to be a long list. And that's not what I want. I want a diversity of different haunters. Um, I've had haunters from Sydney Haunted Woods. You know where that is.
Yeah.
I've had haunters from down in Dayton. I've had haunters from Columbus. I've had haunters from other states. I had a haunter from Maine. I've had haunters from Texas. I need that one from California. Hopefully they message me back, because that's one of the things. I can go ahead and I can submit things to them, but I can't twist their arm.
Right.
So, it's always one of those things, and I always want the I just came over to sit at your table type feeling. And you guys did a great job with that. And
Thank
I
you.
mean it, because you guys would sit them at a table.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I was making a comment about it takes a lot to make something operate. So you got to be appreciative of everything. You gotta be appreciating of this this person, and I even looked at your camera person. I said, even you. And I remember doing that, and I was just like, okay. So I didn't know how your show was going to be, and I love that you guys actually take the snippets and glue them together. Us, no snippeting gluing. No. What you say is live right now. What
Yeah.
you do is here. I'm not going to go back in my TikToks. I will not go ahead and make a TikTok and be like, oh, well, I need to snip that out. Snip. Nope. I screw up on TikTok. By gosh dang, you know I screwed up on TikTok. I ain't changing it. But yeah, so um I just looked at the clock and I've been on here for 2 hours and almost 30 minutes. So I think I'm going to gear down. Eric, is there anything else that you want to bring up? Because hey, this is that show that you bring up randomness.
I'm good. Just thank you so much for allowing me to be on and inviting me. And it's been fun talking to you, buddy.
Well, it's been fun talking to you, and hopefully I can return the favor. You've been on 2 of mine now. So I want you, if you would like that, I would like for you to, feel free to say something, and we'll do something on your end with one of your shows.
Of course. Trash Buddy Games is open format, open guest. So we record that every other Sunday, and we just play games. So you're always welcome to be on that. And we just started back up the Quickies producing, and if you ever want to be on the show of that, or you want to be in a week on it, then we can do that too. And we felt like the Tentacles of Terror jellyfish that you were on,
Yep.
that whole little month thing that we did there, we felt like that was a really positive, fun thing there too. So we want to take that a step further this year and have a lot more fun with that. So you'll obviously be included on that some way, shape, or form. So
Yeah, absolutely. Anything. I love what you guys are working on, and I love the changes that we're making here. So hopefully people get to see a little more of our stuff that haven't experienced our stuff, and honestly, I hope that people go over to see your guys' stuff too. There's enough people on the internet for all of us. I'm just saying that.
yeah,
So right now, I'm just going to go ahead and get everything panned down. Eric, appreciate you being here, and let me know if you need anything. And hey, you guys, whoever's watching out there, I don't care if you're watching today, you're watching tomorrow, you're watching next week. I just want you guys to know, be good to yourself. Go check on people, and always remember, this depression is a terrible thing, but it doesn't have to be a destructive thing. Okay, so if you guys ever think that you guys need help, there is a wonderful note I am going to post here at the bottom. I got to figure out where it is. Oh my gosh. Hey, we even still have did somebody say something about Alan Hops? There, no, that's Shainer's number. Ha! There is a hotline number right here. And just for clarity, I just lost a friend a, a week ago, and I didn't know he was suffering. So there always going to be people out there that you don't know they need help. So be good to each other, and if you know that, hey, they got a situation, they're working, take some time, talk to them, convince them that, you're always going to be there for them. Let them know that the choices they make do affect everybody. So, yep, absolutely. If you made it to this far in the show, we just want you to remember that we do care about you guys, and go out and have a good day. Even though temperatures are going to be terrible. Eric, don't stick your case of water outside. It'll become ice cubes really quick.
It might be needed.
So, bye, guys. Hopefully, y'all have a great one. And hopefully, I get other people to join me on Pet Cell next time. All right?
Bye.
Bye. Now, how do I do this again? Is it